Welcome to Egg Foo What? This is Mike Lisk.
Hello, everybody. Thanks again, everybody, for fuck. I screwed that up. Hey, I had what, 80 something in a row I nailed, right?
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, you're human. You're human.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. I'm human. That's it for the week.
If we haven't established that by now, you are a human being
Thank
with
you.
Several flaws.
Well, now I feel like
As am I. As am I. Come on.
Now I feel like you're taking this opportunity to
Let's
jump
all
in,
own our flaws.
taking this opportunity to jump in with both feet and do a little piling on, Greggy Wilson.
You want to try it again?
Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another episode of Ekfu. What? Look at that.
Nice. With the
Nailed
hand
it.
gesture.
You want me to add that in the mix next time?
Yeah, I mean, there's a guy, I don't know if you follow him. He's he works
the
for
sound of this.
He works for Staten Island Realty.
Yeah, I follow all those guys. Yeah, sure. Staten Island Realty. Yes.
But the thing
T-shirts,
is,
I got the mugs. I got it. Yeah, I do the podcast.
but he's got all these followers, and it's not like these people are itching to buy real estate in Staten Island. No, they're not. This guy just has a distinct way of talking. He's an older gentleman, and then at the end, he goes Island Wide Realty, and he literally just holds his hand up like that. And now that's his signature gesture, and maybe we need something like that.
It's like, is he pointing to God? Like
he's just like saying, "Here we are. Here we are out on Staten Island.
I hand Staten Island Realty over to God now."
Yeah.
I mean, how much? I mean, to be honest, the only thing I know about Staten Island, other than thanks to it, we have to fucking listen to C.P. Davidson for the rest of our lives, is they have a great children's museum. When I was a Manny, I went there, I think, twice. Well documented on Xmas Time. That is xmasTime.blogspot.com. But delightful museum.
For those few who still read blogs.
Oh, now you got to throw that. I mean, geez. You were just jumping on.
It's
the Mike Lisk boot on my throat today.
Let's admit it. The blogs are a thing of yesteryear. But, I admire your commitment to it. I think you probably will get into the Guinness Book of World Records for the
I'm not even going to get that because as I'm pumping this out, there's some guy sitting in a room just churning out. I'm not even going to get that.
I don't know. Google it. See what's going on.
One of three things is going to happen. I'm going to get the world record for blogs, and Blogspot's going to give me $1 million. Or Blogspot's going to disappear overnight, and it's all going to be gone.
And there it goes. Yeah,
like
that's my prediction.
Or it'll just keep going. I'll just keep going, and nobody will give a shit until I die. And then that'll be it.
No. I'll occasionally look at it.
Do you really?
When you post a link on Twitter.
When I send a link,
I don't go there automatically anymore. There were days in the early blog days when I was even doing a blog.
2006.
You pulled me in, and I started doing a blog. But I wasn't as committed as you were. I mean, I blog once a month, twice a month if I was lucky.
Lamentations.
Yeah, Lamentations.
I read your blog every day. I checked in every day.
Bayonne Guy. I don't know if you can still access it or.
I think I did. Didn't I send you a link to it? Like I went to archive.org.
Yeah, I know. I've tried to look back on it, and the link wasn't working.
On archive.org.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you want our fans going back and reading that garbage you were putting out. I mean, I think there's a reason.
Quality stuff on there.
No, nobody. I mean,
I was going for quality over quantity.
Oh, that's pointed.
I mean,
do I owe you money? What is me for today?
What is your average blog post per day? I mean, have you calculated that? 5, 6?
I really am under 10.
10 a day.
Rarely under 10.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, but at this point, it's more of a diary / scrapbook.
I understand.
/ every thought in my head. And some tweet just because why not?
I'll confirm every thought in my head, I have lots of thoughts during the day, but I don't run and
But,
put them
well,
up on Blogspot.
let me, well, thank you for that thinly veiled insult.
I mean,
Appreciate that.
you need to cut back a little. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
You know, it's not a race. You know, stick. You have good stuff.
Mhm. So you don't read the blog, but you're telling me I should just write less of it.
I read them. I see your links on Twitter. That's where I see your links.
Mm.
And, you know, sometimes there'll be a little excerpt. I can see what it's about,
Mhm.
you know.
So just to be clear for me, when I send out a link saying, hey, will you take no seconds to click on this and then read whatever pops up in your screen, that you read that. You don't read any other excess time. However,
No, I do.
you
It-
feel
it-
compelled to tell me that I should write less.
when I see that the thing might be of some interest, I do click on it and I read the full post.
But in general, you don't check out
But
excess
there are a
time.
lot of posts that are like a sentence, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you're not writing full on essays.
no,
You're writing, you know, thoughts of the day and that type of stuff. And
right. Well, I
I can
was.
see,
Now,
I see that. I mean, it's you know, I don't have to go to the blog to see it. It's in the Twitter post. So,
I probably don't put a tenth of my Xmas time stuff on Twitter.
well, Instagram as well. I see,
I probably do maybe 20% over all of it.
I see a lot on Instagram,
Hmm,
and they're in your news feed. I can see, you know, sometime the complete post.
mhm.
So
So I need to shut it down. I need to,
no,
enough's enough.
keep going, keep going. Like I said, maybe you'll get into the Guinness Book of World Records. You know, when you're 100.
Well, let me
When
posit
you're
this.
100 and you're posting about how many times you've soiled yourself or wet yourself.
What is this?
You're
What is
typing.
this?
You're typing.
I rarely wish people, I rarely wish people, hope people see us on YouTube, but for this, I hope they're watching because you
You're
are creeping
typing. You're
out every
typing
human.
away.
You look like
Today,
you're molesting a spider somehow.
today, 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 I almost made it to the toilet.
Hmm.
Poor
Yet I can
morphine.
type.
Poor morphine.
Okay, I'll say this. If it eventually comes to whether I can use the toilet on my own or keep doing Xmas time, I'll shut down Xmas time for the toilet.
And of course, I'm projecting here. You know, if I make it to 100, that's what my daily existence is going to be like as well. So,
But let me posit this. I
positive.
don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
You and I probably aren't going to have any children.
You think?
Now, let's say all I
I think you
have.
got a better shot than I do.
Well, thank you. I
How old
mean,
was Tony Randall when he popped that kid out?
oh, I don't know.
Actually,
What
Al
was his first?
Pacino just
Well,
had a kid.
Pacino. Well, De Niro too. They all just popped out kids.
They're all popping out kids
But what if
in
this
their
is
80s.
all?
In their 80s.
What if this is all I have to leave behind? Just a
Yeah.
record of whatever I fucking wanted to. And then 100 years from now, somebody finds it, and maybe something will be of interest.
That's a big maybe.
Boy, this is Jesus.
I mean, it's life is hard. I mean, you know,
But
I don't think anybody's going to have any more interest in me in 20 years, right? 20 years is a
Nobody's
long
gonna have any
time.
interest in either one of us.
Yeah, exactly.
But
We're all destined
don't
for
you
oblivion.
don't you want to leave anything behind?
Why? I'll be gone.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying my time while I'm here.
Well, I was until somebody just told me.
I'm enjoying my weekly conversations with you. That has vastly improved my life.
Well, it's
I
ruining
mean,
mine.
you were there during my hard times, and I'll always remember that. And this show was a you know, a godsend to help me through those hard times. Have a few laughs in the middle of some really dire shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
I'll always appreciate that.
well,
I think our audience sort of understands that. You know, they're going through their own things, difficult times,
Always.
and it's nice to have a little island of fun.
Well, I like to think of this as an island of joy and fun. But now when I come to it, I'm told by a person who also says they don't read the blog that I should do less of it.
I do read the blog.
Like you haven't done an audit. You haven't studied it. Okay, this, that.
Well, you're throwing the highlights. How many links do you throw out a day? Do you throw out a link for every post? You said no. No,
No.
okay.
Just every once in a while, if I think maybe someone will like this or someone will like that.
So I'm
Some
all
things
right.
obviously don't fit Instagram because
Mhm.
it can only be. I don't want to be too racy on Instagram. But no, I'm shutting it down anyway. Fuck it. You're right.
Oh.
The only thing I have in this world.
You got it all printed
joy.
out. You got to print it out somehow. We got to save it somehow.
You know what's funny? About 15 years ago, they had this thing. This is maybe, 2006 or something. 7. I just started like a year or so to blogging. And it's saying, hey, why don't you turn your blog into a book? So what's that look like? You hit a button, it's supposed to generate what it'll look like, give you a preview. It wouldn't stop generating. It was like, a couple weeks ago, I was like, it popped up again after all these years. I said, fuck it, let's see what'll happen. I let it spin for a week. Never stopped. I finally gave up. I was like,
So it's just downloading?
I guess. I don't know. So yeah, no, it's all I have in my life to bring me joy. But then,
Okay,
but you're
all
probably
right.
right.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to squash your joy. I thought, it's just a chronicle. I didn't know it was bringing you joy. I thought it was just.
What did you think? Why do you think I was doing it? The paychecks?
I'm not quite sure why you're doing it. I mean,
well, number one, I do
it's
have a compulsion. I have to speak and get all these thoughts and express myself out.
okay. All
Now,
right.
I don't
I
have a
should have
wife,
been
I don't
more
have
sensitive.
kids.
I apologize.
What's it? Excuse me?
I said I apologize. I should have been
Oh,
more
no.
sensitive. I went for the easy joke rather than taking.
Say that again.
So
What were you
I
saying?
I went for the easy
But
joke.
before that,
I apologize for
that's all I need.
trying to squash your joy.
I mean, obviously, I don't get money out of it,
Mhm.
but what else would I be doing?
Well,
You
did
can't
you
stop me.
celebrate? Well,
You can't stop me, Mike.
I'm
You
going to
can try to
segue.
put your
I'm going
boot
to
heel in my
segue
throat.
right out of this.
Xmas time will outlive us all.
My apology has been accepted.
Begrudgingly.
Did you celebrate St.
With
Patrick's
a little
Day?
bit of rancor and eye rolling. And maybe vengeance.
Did you celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
Just for that, here's what's going to happen. Next week at this time, you're going to have Mike Lisk's 3 favorite posts of the week from Xmas time.
I like that.
And let me tell you something. If any of these 3 are ones that I posted on Twitter, doesn't count. Unless you honestly didn't see it on Twitter. All right?
Well, I will repost.
Slow, agonizing process back into my heart begins. That's the first step.
Well, I do repost all of your blog posts that I like and I endorse. So that is one way that I acknowledge your blog.
The other way is asking me to not do it.
Just cut it down. Give us one not just like off the top of your head type of thing. Give us like some sort of one a day. One is good. That's more than most people can inspire, right?
So then you'd come visit.
Not necessarily.
Oh, there you go. Okay. How about we do this?
Listen, I've known you a long time. I know the subjects you like to riff about by now. So, the TV stuff, I'm not it's not as engaging for me. Let's I'm not a huge TV guy. That's just me. I'm not saying there's not an audience out there for
You know,
guys, young men obsessed with BBC comedy.
it's all right.
You know,
Just
it's
earlier, I
it's
talked about how James Worthy is overrated he's not a Hall of Fame basketball player.
okay.
You have enjoyed
Sports,
that,
yeah.
if I
I
agree with
mean,
it.
the sports I follow. I guess you'll be. Is Virginia your team or Virginia Tech? Was
Virginia,
it? Okay,
not after last night.
they had quite a spectacular showing last night in the
Well,
dance. Seton
well,
Hall, St. John's,
the good news
Providence
is,
got left out,
well,
but
the good news is,
Virginia gets to go to the dance.
you
And what
know
do
who's
they
still,
do? They
you
shit the bed.
you know who's still in the dance?
Yeah,
My alma mater.
St. Peter's, my
No,
father's alma mater.
that's
I'm
where I'm
rooting for
going.
St. Peter's again.
That's where I'm going. No,
James Madison, I saw that.
I didn't go to St. James. No, that's Will
Oh, that's Will
Longwood
Longwood. Okay,
playing Houston.
so I had that wrong all these years. I thought you went to James Madison.
You're gonna tell me
Uh-huh.
what to do with the one thing in this world I have that's my own and that loves me.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to tell me to not do it anymore. And you've spent the last quarter of a century not knowing what college I went to. So you
You know,
are stepping in it.
your scholarly pursuits are confusing to me to this day. You were in Mississippi, and
I just lived there for 2 years.
oh, okay. I thought you were going to school there for some reason.
My buddy was getting his master's there, so I just
Oh,
tagged
okay.
along.
All right. Well, obviously, I'm still confused. So you went to Longwood for 4 years.
Mm,
All right.
I got
All
a
right.
degree. Let's just say
Okay. Okay. Associate degree. Nothing wrong with that.
bachelor,
Okay. A BA.
whatever they
okay.
say. I don't fucking know. I don't
Okay.
even know what they say. Bachelor of Arts in English, I guess.
I got a kick out of our mutual friend who writes for the Wall Street Journal. He was on our softball team, and he posted a photo of his. He went to NYU as well,
Mhm.
and he posted a photo of his
Oh,
diploma.
you know where he went to college. Great. Okay. You guys must be close.
Well, we went to the same college.
Oh, no connection is greater than that. No bond is stronger.
But
If
but
you,
he
if you went to
posted
college at the same time 40 years ago without knowing each other.
he posted a photo on Facebook of his diploma, which never made it out of its cardboard container, you know.
Wait, I saw that. I thought that was you.
Well, it made me laugh because I have the same thing.
Yeah.
My degree is still in its cardboard container that was mailed to me, and so yeah, we bonded over that.
Oh,
all that money, and we still have our diploma in the container it was mailed in.
And he writes for the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
Right. When do you?
I never made it in the world of the business world. I'm a complete failure.
Well, how did he handle it? How did he take it when you said, "Hey, nice, I like that you're writing for the Journal, but cut it down a bit"? Did you tell him that?
No, I did not tell him.
Did you say, "Hey, look, I'm not going to say his name. I don't read your stuff, but you should just write less of it." Mm-hmm. How'd that go?
Well, he was getting paid for it, right?
Yeah, he's getting paid.
Sorry to have to listen. You set yourself up for that one.
I should be a beacon to people out there who are frustrated because they have shit they love to do, but nobody cares about it.
You are.
Look at me.
You are.
Nobody gets less of shit. I don't want to whine.
You are a beacon.
You know, do what you love.
You are a beacon.
Do what you love, accept that nobody gives a shit, and be happy.
Yeah, no, that's true. You have to do what you love.
Am I hearing another apology coming?
Hey, guess who's got a job interview on Monday?
That's not.
Speaking of doing what you love.
Hold on. What?
Don't fall off your chair.
Let me tear my notes.
No, you saw my you saw my Twitter post. I have an interview.
No.
To be a safari driver at the Six Flags Great Adventure.
I was hoping you'd say in Africa.
No, it's in It's in Jackson, New Jersey. A
Really?
short drive from where I reside currently
Right.
and where I worked at when I was in high school.
Full circle, bro.
Full circle. I ran into a guy who was he applied for the same job. He was going for training. He spelled out what it entailed, and I was like, "This sounds like my dream job." I get to drive through
Well,
a safari.
what did he say? What's the scenario?
Well, you drive this truck, through the safari park. The animals are behind gates now. They do not, meander out into the road and charge you
Are you upset that means you're not
or
going to be
rip
able
your
to hit one
antenna
of them?
off your vehicle.
Were you hoping to run into a lion and like thump, thump, a couple of
No,
tigers?
no. Although he did add the detail, and I don't know where he got this information from. Whether they discussed this during his initial interview or what. He said that the lions are, let's say, mating 40 times a day when they're in
My
heat.
old record.
So
ratings with another person.
yeah, I mean that wasn't the detail that enticed me into applying. So I had this conversation with this guy. It actually pays decent too, and I'm like, yeah, I can do that. This could be fun. And so I immediately jumped online, sent my application through. They contacted me. Of course, it's a robot now. You God forbid a human reach out to you.
Here we go.
I got a bot text, setting up the interview, and I'm going on Monday.
Wow. Well, good luck.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, how long a day are you driving? Like,
I think it is, most of the day. It's day. They shut it down by night, so I'll be out of there by like 5 or 6, I think.
oh, it's like in 8 hours of driving?
Well, it's like I think there's a bunch of trucks, I think he mentioned there's like about 20 or 40 drivers, something like that. I don't know the exact number, but they're sending trucks out as people come up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only physical labor, I guess, is putting down the ramp for people who are handicapped.
You can get an intern to do that, Mike. You don't need to do that.
But here's the other thing. It's, I'm like, am I going to be the guy on the mic? No, I'm not. I'm not going to be the guy on the mic.
Mike on the mic.
Mike on the mic. But, that's a separate job. There's going to be a tour guide who's going to be.
Mike's not ready for the show.
No, but of course the wheels are already turning. If I have a good partner, maybe like, after we finish a run, I could suggest some lines to him, pick it up, bring it up a notch.
Yeah, you do seem to be giving out a lot of helpful advice these days. I know.
Yeah, well, I've reached the age where, I'm a wise old man now. So
yeah, well,
people come to me for advice.
Or you like to give advice.
Or a cranky old bastard.
Six in one hand, half dozen.
Yeah. But anyway, so I may be out there with the animals. And of course, I'm thinking about, I could get some good stories for the podcast.
Now, see, if this was reversed, you'd try to get me to go over the gate and get bitten by a tiger.
No, for a viral video?
Like when you try to get me to get bitten by a shark or.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to be shooting video though. So if anybody thinks, oh, Mike's going to be his feed's just going to be full of some viral videos out at the safari park. I have a feeling that that's not going to be condoned. So
what if all my making fun of you first? Oh, Greg, do a viral video. You end up being in some huge viral video, like a lion jumps over the gate and like humps you, but in a friendly, funny way. Like,
no, of course,
it looks like the lion's having you sexually, but it's just playing with you. But
and of course, because I am who I am, I of course think of the worst scenarios, right? The truck breaks down. Exactly. The
electricity goes off the grid.
Some animal.
The electric grid
manages
goes
to
off.
Get over the gate.
Down.
To get over the gate. A pack of baboons.
I saw Jurassic Park. These
rush the fence and come over the fence. Yeah, I mean,
I want your
Uh,
last words as monkeys are mauling, just mauling you to death.
yes,
I want your last words to be, I had an uncle that went the same way. Just promise me that.
no, I want to be, I've talked about this before about, who wants to die, struggling to breathe in a hospital. I mean, that's a stereotype. But, a mauling by a pack of baboons that would make the papers, as they say. And so I'd go out in a blaze of glory
Your
rather
death
than,
would be viral.
rather than with a whimper in a nursing home.
Yeah. I don't know. People always say that about, I want to die at home instead of the hospital, but I've been in the hospital very comfortable.
Hmm.
They bring you food, oversized bathroom, warm in the winter, cool air
Yeah.
conditioning. You could do worse.
No,
I've lived in,
I've
I've lived in
actually
worse places.
I've actually witnessed, I'm not saying every experience is horrible, but I've seen some bad experiences.
Mhm,
I've lived through some bad experiences in hospitals, and
mhm.
I'd rather not be in a hospital. That's just my personal opinion.
It's like when I was a kid. I mean, now I still kind of think it because I'm like a fucking 12-year-old, but like, remember you a kid and like going out to eat was so exciting.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, we're gonna get a pizza, or oh
Hmm.
my
Oh
God,
yeah.
going to Burger King or
Right.
whatever. It was once a millennium or whatever.
Hmm.
And so when I'd
Easter
see,
time. That's it. We,
yeah,
we we only went out once a year. Easter.
used to be a big thrill, and so when I'd see on TV or whatever, some guy showing up at a house and they're like, "Oh, would you like to stay for dinner or something?" He's like, "Oh, it's been so long since I've had a home cooked meal." And I was always like, "Who wants a fucking home cooked meal? You can go
Well, you're
anywhere.
right. Right.
For all
Yeah.
you know, A, she's a shitty cook, or she's a great cook, but it just happens to be foods you hate."
Hmm.
Like, I was
Got
always like,
mushroom in it.
"Yeah, like, why would you want a home cooked meal?"
No,
Like,
I've had some great home cooked meals. I mean, it's
and you
if
got to talk to the family, and then you
oh,
got.
God forbid, yeah.
Would I
You
rather
have
talk to
to
these?
socialize.
Well, I'm talking about mostly strangers. It's always like Gary, the guy, shows up
Mhm,
and something happens, and then they're like, "Oh, would you like a meal?" And he's like, "Oh, I haven't had a home cooked meal." Like, well, you just went to Denny's and Pizza Hut and
mhm.
Burger King and all the places. Uh, yeah, I've always been flummoxed by that, but I don't know. What do you make of that?
No, I'm the same way. I mean, our family did not go out to eat very much. Easter was it. That was
But
it.
now it's circled back. Now I've learned kids are so used to going out all the time.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Literally, I don't know. I'm sure I've told you this. A couple of years ago, we're riding around looking for a restaurant to go to, and my buddy, and he's got 3 kids, and at the time they're all like 5 and 3 or
Mm.
6. Kid pipes up back. Ugh. She goes, don't we have food at home? I was like,
She's tired of it, right?
I don't want to be the old man screaming in the porch, but I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? We got food at home.
You can get tired of eating out all the time. I can understand
I
that.
guess. I mean, it's you
As a
can't,
single guy who's eaten a fair
yeah.
amount out,
It's like
it gets tiresome after a while, you know?
anything. It's like when I was going to say the first time I was in first class, but I don't want to rub it in your face. First time I was in first class, uh, not because of me, because of the generosity of others. I'm sitting there, and of course, I'm just like waiting for someone to come tell me, "Dude, what are you doing? You don't belong here. Get in the fucking back of the." Yeah. And I'm just
Never
sitting
been in
there.
first class myself.
Well, come
Never.
on. It's no big deal.
Okay.
Okay,
Looks nice.
that's what people tell you. It's
The,
incredible.
the big white seat.
It's incredible.
Mm.
Don't let people try to tell you it's no big deal. They're just trying to not make you feel bad. It's incredible. Anyway, so I'm sitting there like I can't believe it. Some guy comes walking in, he and his wife, middle aged, whatever, and he comes in, plops down, looks at the food menu, throws it down. Ugh, same old shit.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like wow, I
Beef.
remember thinking, I was like, wow, I hope I get so numb to like success and luxury that I say that at some point. It's crazy. So yeah, I guess
People,
at some point you can get tired of going to, McDonald's and Chick-fil-A every night to say, hey, I would like a home cooked meal with these complete fucking strangers. So
people's urge to complain is stronger than
yeah. So
having a
what if
good
they
meal.
had some
So
sort of
people get
way to
tired of
put these
everything.
thoughts onto not paper, but a computer generated platform where they could put these thoughts instead of having them so that when they get in the street and somebody bumps into them, they snap and go on a killing spree. Wouldn't that be nice?
Uh-huh.
Speaking of people,
Something to ponder.
speaking of people that are the worst, as you know, I've been eating salads for lunch for the last 2 weeks. Well, mostly at work.
You
And
can. I thought I made it clear that you can buy anything. You are free, Greg. I want you to feel like you can get anything you want.
I know. Trust me.
You've suffered. You've suffered for this podcast like no other person, and you're
well, who
free.
else is there? There's 2 of us. I mean, if it's
Uh-huh.
not you, it's going to be me. I mean, like no other person.
You were throwing food away every week. So, you can eat whatever you want and discuss it with the people here. And I'm sure no one will give you any grief.
I haven't minded eating the salads,
Mhm.
but twice I've gotten a line behind motherfucker who's never seen a salad bar before in his life.
Totally,
Standing there,
totally bewildered by it, baffled,
but baffled. And like
baffled. Yeah.
there's just enough people ahead of him spread out.
Mhm.
Like it's not like we're packed. It's like 2 people spaced just perfectly that I can't just go by him and say fuck it and go get my sunflower seeds, whatever. I gotta stand there and he's like, oh, oh,
Too much to take in at once. Yes.
doing the poking.
Okay.
What is this? And it's like, if you are that overwhelmed and baffled at this
Mhm.
thing you've never seen before, how about take a step back and hey, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Since you're breathing down
Salad bar
snorting like
etiquette.
a bull.
Salad bar etiquette. This is basic.
Just hey, go on through. Make a little joke.
Yeah.
The first time in a salad bar.
Right. Yeah.
Little joke.
He's not ready. He's not ready.
He's not ready.
He's not ready
That's
for prime
fine.
time.
Get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
I could be in and out of the salad line.
It's prime time for Greg. Get
Maybe
the
8
fuck out
seconds.
of my get the fuck out of my way.
Salad line.
Clear the path.
That's this week's t-shirt. Get the fuck out of my salad bar line. I could be in and out of the salad bar line. No joke.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, let me do this. From start to finish, 30 seconds, forget about that. I bet I can do it in 20. And I don't even mean like a panic, I mean I get my lettuce, chicken. I try to not do too much chicken because it's easy to throw in the chicken.
Mhm.
And then, which I always do, and then instead of a salad, I'm just eating chicken. Tomatoes, corn. If they have edamame, yes, but sometimes they don't.
Uh-huh.
And then sunflower seeds, and that's it. I'm
Uh-huh.
boom, done.
There you go.
Today, let me tell you how happy this would make Mike Lisk.
Yeah.
You know how much my salad cost me today?
$6.
Yes. Fuck! Was it the other week you were
It's
did when-
uncanny. Isn't it uncanny? I can
Well,
just nail it.
better than the other week when I was doing some dramatic, can you believe it? And you overshot the number or something. So then I was really fucked. But yeah, so it wasn't, so it's 2 different guys.
No.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like,
Yeah. No, you know what I'm hearing here though?
oh, and one more thing. The fucking 6 different types of lettuce for the salad bar. I'm sorry.
6. That's
6.
too much. Yeah.
There's my iceberg.
Right.
And then there's spinach, which I know
Yeah.
it's healthy, but you have
Yeah.
to 9 acres of it. And the texture to that stuff is,
Yeah.
if
No,
you're
I'm
chewing,
with you on the spinach.
your teeth are sliding. It's
Yeah.
like have you ever accidentally chewed a towel? Do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how Jerry Tarkanian did it. And then there's 4 variations of the spinach that are just barely different enough to make someone go, oh, well, obviously I'm getting
And then there's some kale. And you got kale in there.
not kale. No, kale I'd recognize.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Do we need the fucking 6 different type? Like, it's like
No, that's overkill.
which is real lettuce, and then 5 different shades of spinach so the people feel good
Yeah,
about
that's
themselves.
overkill. That's spinach mania. What you describing there? And
Was it the worst thing that happened to me this morning? Can I go through one? Can I put someone else on blast?
yeah, go ahead.
Fucking Uber. Let me
We
tell
go.
you,
All right.
it's been getting shittier recently anyway.
Uh-huh.
Since I stopped taking them regularly, I try to avoid using them if I can. It's impossible, but I try. Today I was like, fuck it, I'm taking an Uber to work. Treat myself. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
Get my bonus. Treat myself.
Feel
And
like a king.
already it's $80. If I'm tipping, it's going to be another 20, 25.
Wow.
All right, but I'm like, all right, I'm treating myself. No problem. We're booking along. The driver starts telling me, and this has happened before, but it's never a problem. Hey, do you want the toll, or do you want me to go around? And I always say, don't do the toll because, how can I pay you or whatever? I don't have cash. Usually it's like, all right, no problem. It's like 5 or 10 minutes longer. This time he tells me, oh, it's going to be an hour and a half longer. So I'm like,
What?
hold on. So I either pay a toll. Now I am going to get you on this one. Ask me how much the toll was.
All right. Well, I'm used
From
to.
Virginia to DC. How much is
Okay.
the toll?
I'm used to ridiculously priced tolls in the New York, New Jersey area.
Yep. Number one, hold on.
So
I know
I'm
what
going
you're
to add a
saying.
little more to that. I'm going
Let
to
me tell you.
say it's
Let me tell you this.
$20 for
Hold
the
on, before you
toll.
say a number,
20, 20,
double it.
$40 for a toll.
$40. So now I'm like,
Okay.
hold on. So Uber gets me in the car and has me going for 15 minutes before telling me, oh, by the way, you can either pay a $40 toll or take another hour and a half, which obviously I can't fucking do. I'm coming into work.
Right.
So, but then I'm pissed off because I'm like, A, it's deceitful.
Mhm.
Let me fucking know there's a toll.
Yeah.
And B, now the driver's sitting there thinking, this asshole's not. So then I finally worked. I was like, all right, do the toll, but I'll stick it on your tip, which you can custom tip. I'd forgotten about that. But now, of course, the guy's sitting there driving. He's like, this motherfucker's not going to pay me the $40 for the toll. He assumes I'm going to get out and I'm not paying the
Stiff
toll.
them.
So he's got to spend the next 20 minutes stressing about that, which sucks for him. So it's just fucking shitty.
Yeah.
So I spent the whole time just burning through this note I was going to send to Uber, that of course I didn't send because it's fucking pointless. But that is super shitty, right?
Yeah, but and did it take an hour and a half longer, or I mean, he just throws
Well, no,
that
I paid
number,
the toll.
right? Okay, but it's like,
So
how did he calculate the hour and a half? That sounds like pure
he
bullshit.
put it into the thing and said, "Oh, well, if we go," but that seems like bullshit too. Because
He did this. He did this on his phone. Did he
right?
show it to you?
No, he didn't show it to me.
Okay, he didn't show it to you.
Yeah, because they've done
So,
before, and
so
again,
my BS detector is saying he pulled some bullshit just to make it easier for himself.
but I
And
don't think to be honest, I don't think the driver is that clever. I don't think the driver was sitting there coming up with
but
scenarios.
where's the hour and a half going to come? He's going to He's going to
that is total bullshit.
yeah, that's
It's
what
like
I'm saying.
Usually it's like another.
He's going to take different roads, like all back way. I mean, he's got to get over that body of water at some point, right?
Yeah, I don't know whether that hour and a half is bullshit. I don't think. Why would he risk pissing off a customer for that? Like, I don't think he did it on purpose. Like, why would you risk that? He's got an $80.
I don't know. It
fare
just
to begin
sounds
with.
very
Plus,
fishy. Very fishy.
It's like, why can't Uber say, hey, before you agree to this, do you want to pay the $40 toll? Or
Exactly. Yeah. No, they should be upfront about it. I agree about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
fuck them. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
okay.
Them and the salad line
All right.
people. I'm sorry. I'm done screaming in 30 seconds. Can
All right. Well, it's my turn now. And
can I put a bow and say something nice about something?
Okay, go ahead.
The Wegmans regular sliced bread. I'm talking about the generic
White bread.
It's $1.29.
Okay. All
Like,
right.
I'm sure, like, you just grab it because it's the cheapest bread and who cares? I've realized over this weekend, when you toast this bread, because I think it's half air. Like you can look at it and almost
All
see
right.
through it. Like
It's
there's a
thin.
reason it's
Yeah, I like thin
$1.29.
bread. Yeah,
No, it's thick. It's regular size, but you can tell,
but it's not weighty.
right? Like you could
It's
tell
not
half of it.
dense.
You could tell half of it's air.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it turns out because of that, when you toast it, all of a sudden what happens is they become like nooks and crannies,
hmm
almost like an egg muffin, an English muffin.
Okay.
All of a sudden you have
Nice.
that texture,
All
and
right.
it is with a little bit of uh what's the Irish butter, Kelly?
Mhm.
Kelly Gold. Kelly's
Mhm.
Irish Gold butter. Mike, it is unbelievable. And I shouldn't tell people this because then Wegmans is going to raise the price. $1.29. The best toast bread, like normal bread. I don't want to say the best ever, I'm sure. It was incredible.
Mhm.
And it's because I think it's because it's so cheap and crappy, makes incredible bread. Okay. I'm sorry. I just wanted
For
to
incredible toast.
I've been
You're talking about, you're always going to toast it. Then you're saying that you're not really interested in eating it normally. You'll just
Oh no, that's
toast.
not true either.
Oh,
Because I think I've blathered on here before, but I didn't realize why. There's something also about the Wegmans bread that when I make my tuna fish sandwiches,
mhm.
they just settle into it, like the mayo, everything
Uh-huh.
settles into it
Uh-huh.
perfectly. So I do use it, but it really flipped my wig with this toast, Mike Liss.
Okay. Would you say it was delightful?
You got to ruin this too.
No, I'm trying to help you. Like, delightful is your word. You you
It
you
is.
you made it. The word, the ultimate
Yep.
descriptor for something that you enjoy. So
Let me,
why not add a hand gesture? A hand gesture when you say
what?
something's delightful.
All right, let me try this.
Delightful. Give it
All
a
right.
give it a shot. Give it a shot.
I mean, so this slice bread, this Wegmans bread is in a word, delightful.
So it's
No?
the pen and the
Well, I had the
fingers.
pen. I don't know why the pen. As I was talking, I realized I had the pen. I panicked.
Yeah.
But Mike, seriously,
Uh-huh.
this bread was in a word, delightful.
Okay. So it's just
Is that it?
that's all
I don't
right.
know. Do I normally do
I don't
something?
see that very often. It's weird. It's
Delightful.
yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. I
Delightful.
don't think I've
Greg,
seen
how was the
anybody do
Wegmans
that.
bread? Delightful.
Yeah. No, I like it. Yeah.
Greg, how was your honeymoon? Delightful.
No, I like it. You know what wasn't so delightful was my St. Patrick's Day.
Ooh.
I don't know how you celebrated. Did you enjoy some corned beef and cabbage anywhere or
No, it was Monday, right? Yeah, I'm doing it.
Sunday?
Sunday, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't feel like it was a big deal. I kind of forgot about it
Uh,
most of the day.
oh,
I mean,
okay. All right.
I was putting out a lot of uh, posts about being Irish on my blog, but
hmm
I should probably go back and delete those now that somebody's been on my ass. But what happened to you?
Well, I went to my local establishment and, that's the busiest day of the year for bars. And so they had a nice crowd. The bar was full. When I got there, we had to sit at a table for a little bit. We ate at the table. They had a platter. You got your cabbage, you got your boiled potatoes, which I'm not so keen on, but
You don't like boiled potatoes?
no, I don't
But
like
you like
boiled
cabbage?
potatoes. No, I mean it's down on the list for ways of doing potatoes for me.
Well, yeah, but you bypass cabbage.
Yeah, cabbage, like I said, I'm not eating cabbage all year long. I can eat cabbage once a year. I put a little mustard on it, which is probably wrong, but and the
But
boiled
boiled
potatoes and
potato.
a nice
Hey, don't you
pile
just
of
don't you
corned
just
beef.
drench them in butter?
The
Yeah.
potatoes?
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't. I was given some butter. I didn't use it. Actually,
Mike, come on.
it was such a full plate that I actually asked for a container. So I took home half of it for made some corned beef hash the next morning. I just mashed it all together,
Mhm.
threw it in the frying pan. That was interesting. Came out nice.
I don't love corned beef. It's too.
It depends on, I've had better corned beef. I mean,
Yeah.
the fatty content is the determinant there. And if you go to a great place that has good corned beef, I mean, it can be phenomenal. This would I would say was in the mid range.
Yeah.
It was a little fatty. It was a little. I
Little
mean, they were,
fatty thing,
I
yeah.
mean, they're cranking out the corned beef in the kitchen, so it's all just mass cut and stuff. So mine was a
I was
bit
gonna make a
blasted.
joke about cranking out the corned beef in the kitchen.
Uh,
I know you like to keep this a family show, so I
uh-huh.
chose. You.
Well, no, I'm going to take it right into the gutter now.
Oh,
So, so well, I want to talk about something else first. First, and it's the one day of the year I drink Guinness. I like Guinness, uh, but I don't want to drink it all the time. But
Mhm.
I can drink it. It's not heavy to me.
Guinness is easily the best, or to me,
Mhm.
if you just want to sit and chill. Like whenever I've been in Ireland twice, you find out Guinness, you're happy just sitting there nursing it like for an hour.
Yeah,
Something about it, you don't feel the need to like, oh, fucking.
right. And yeah, I wasn't drinking fast, and I was taking my time. I was with a friend of mine, and we having a nice chat, and then we moved over to the bar when it opened up, and sat next to a couple nice people. We're chatting with them, but there was an idiot there.
Oh boy.
It's St. Patrick's Day, right? Some fucking idiot. I've seen this guy before. He's got to be the edgiest person in the bar. So what's he doing? He's playing Pantera on the jukebox.
Was this 1989? Like how edgy?
So the same fucking song. He's playing every 20 minutes. Cemetery Gates. Are you familiar with that song? It's a 7-minute epic by Pantera. And it's like one of those things where it starts off slow and then it starts chugging. Just what people want to hear on St. Patrick's
I'll be
Day.
honest.
Yeah.
What little bit of Pantera I've heard, that sounded better.
Thank
I'd
you.
rather hear you do that
For 7
than
minutes.
Pantera.
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe not all the time.
I'm giving you a full taste.
Maybe not right now, but
So this guy was playing his song every 20 minutes. I heard it a couple times.
was he wasted? I mean, was he?
No, he's a weirdo. I've seen him in there before.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about there's a bartender there who loves the heavy metal music, and he's been chastised by the owners saying you can't play that music here. Not all the customers like it. The old ladies who come here for lunch do not want to hear Pantera, Avenged Sevenfold, all these bands I've never heard of.
What's he doing up there at lunch? Does he work? Is he rich?
Well, he works during the day, and this is like a bar restaurant. So there's people in the restaurant and they're hearing the music, And it's funny because I was talking to one of the waitresses and she says she's had customers complain. And it's like older women are like, "Oh, there's that terrible music again." And they're not wrong, they don't want to hear that. But this guy's got
on the jukebox.
What's that?
Or is it an iPad situation?
Well, it's an internet jukebox.
Yeah.
The blessing and a curse, the internet jukebox. We've talked about the Turkey's Nest and having to come in on a Sunday afternoon, summer day, and listen to thrash metal. Like, yeah, nothing that really spoils the day more than some horrible metal music thrown in your face because somebody wants to be edgy, right? They're being edgy.
But at least, like there is a progression to jukeboxes. At one time it was like the jukebox was of the people. If you walked in and put your quarter in, boom, you get your song.
Yeah.
And then it became this internet jukebox where you could pay extra to have your songs played first.
Oh yeah.
And then the iPods came around, and then suddenly, because bartenders wanted to play their music, suddenly all the jukeboxes were broken. It's like when I moved to DC.
Yeah.
Every cab, every taxi, the credit card machine was broken.
Yeah, I think that's more of a New York thing. I haven't seen that in Jersey.
Yeah, when I left New York, that's where it was.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to play a little devil's advocate. But then again, no, because this guy's like an internet jukebox situation.
No,
anyway.
it's an internet jukebox. Yeah.
So
and he's skipping. Yeah. I mean, I worked at one of the bars I worked at in Bayonne. We actually had to get the jukebox company to get rid of the skipping option.
Can you do that?
You can, yeah, of course. I mean, but you know, it's more money for the jukebox company and the bartender. But if it's creating a commotion, you
I
know,
used
it's
to
worth it to get rid
lose.
of it.
I'm not saying that's why I left New York, but I used to lose my fucking mind when that happened.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Well, and this guy was doing it. You know, he's skipping. I'm trying to get some Irish music in there.
What were you gonna play? What were you gonna play?
I went with, straight up the Pogues. I'm playing the Pogues. It's still the one time I'll play the Pogues, and I played a little have you heard this? I mean, he did it on one of his solo records, Galway Girl, Steve Earle. But he
Mhm.
did it with somebody called Sharon Shannon. Have you ever heard of that name?
Talking about Steve Earle?
Well, Steve Earle did a collaboration with Sharon Shannon. There's a it's not that different a version of Galway Girl, but it's
Okay.
it's nice. It's a
But
little
it's the Steve Earle song.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's singing it. But I guess she's an instrumental. Maybe she's playing guitar or whatever on it. I
Mhm.
don't know that much about her. I just sort of came across the song and I was like, oh, this is a nice version of this song.
Mhm.
So I'm playing that, but then he starts skipping. And my policy is I wait my turn. If nobody's skipping me, I don't skip. I don't start the skipping, right?
That
But this
skipping shit is wrong.
but this guy starts skipping, and then but here's my policy. I'm courteous. I wait at the back of the line, but once you skip me, all bets are off. All
Okay.
bets are off.
Yes, I agree.
And then so I had to, but just about every time I slipped in some Irish music, he'd be back with Pantera. So, and I've actually had like a, I've had a jukebox duel with this idiot before. I actually recognized him. I knew who was doing it, and we were there one night, and we're going back and forth. He's playing his metal music. I'm trying to get in some music for the rest of the people that are there, right? And, I really defeated him. He's literally sitting across the bar from me. He's playing all this junky, crappy music.
Burn.
I get some David Bowie in there, and so I had people dancing. I was playing some David Bowie. There's some women there. Women don't want to hear this shit.
Mm-mm.
There may be a handful of women that like this crappy music, but it's mostly dudes, right? Let's just admit it.
That's going to be the sound bite I pull out. Women don't want to hear this shit.
They don't. They don't. Come on, you know. And I'm watching his face, and he's like making a face, like, why didn't they get up and dance to Oak? O period A period Ek. I don't Ek, not
Is
X.
this guy young
Egg.
or old or what's his story?
He's like in his 30s. He should know better, but he's got he usually goes there when the bartender who loves the music is there. So they're like buddies, because the bartender was told he can't play it, so this idiot comes in and plays it anyway.
Uh,
So, and get this, because you can play a song on a jukebox and not even be there, right? So
Oh.
one night Nick is working. That's the bartender who likes the shitty music, and this guy played some of that music from home, and he got in trouble because the the owner thought it was him. so, so he got him in trouble playing that crappy shit. But anyway, so yeah, it was spoiled. He spoiled my day. I was having a decent day, and
How do you can you scramble your Jersey people to take care of this guy? I mean, I don't need
it's
to know what happens when you people
no,
get together and take care of these things, but
no. I do know that he's there when this particular bartender is working, so I'm just gonna avoid.
well,
Now that I know that's his guy, and he goes in to see him, and they have a metal fest. I'm just gonna not go there those nights. It's like
I
it's not
just don't
worth it.
like the fucking uh, along with being able to order off the kiddie menu, first 100 days of my presidency, all jukeboxes go back to the way they were. Jukeboxes were one of the last vestiges of and for the people.
Yeah, and
You're
here's the
first
other
in
thing.
line, you get to hear your fucking song.
Yeah.
That is it. End of. Because let me tell you something, Mike Lisk. You know what I'm smelling is coming next with this bullshit?
Mhm.
Surge pricing.
Yeah. Okay.
Gonna be surge pricing.
That's gonna happen. Yeah.
You want to hear your song? $4. Well, Mike wants to hear it. here's song. Maybe if you paid 7.
Yeah. Well, that's what the skipping is, you know, it's more money, it's more credits.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna skip somebody, it's 4 credits instead of 2 credits, you know? So
If you want to see people, because I also saw a headline yesterday, and by that I mean I didn't read it. Some grocery stores thinking about experimenting with surge pricing.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like once they start surge pricing food, we
Right.
are fucked.
Yeah, no, I
I
agree.
don't like
Yeah.
the way I did that. That dramatic. Edit that out if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, surge pricing. I guarantee you, someone's working on it for jukeboxes.
So yeah, the food was fine, the Guinness was fine, but the atmosphere, I give a 0.20. Just this guy, what is a real joy kill. But he's got to be out there. He's edgy, you know. He's got to show how edgy he is. Look
I
at
mean,
all these dumb Irish people. They want to hear Irish music. I'm gonna give them some Pantera every 20 minutes. Gonna
well,
give them a dose of Pantera.
people confuse being edgy with being a shithead.
Yeah, it's a
This guy's
fine
not.
line. It's a fine line.
What you learn, what normal people learn when you're
Right.
like
Maturity. It's called maturity.
yeah,
You know,
like 3 months into college when you're like, okay, well, that's when all that happens. This
yeah,
guy we dealt
you
with.
know, your mother's not here anymore. You can't scare your mother with this
Yeah,
music. You
yeah,
know, people just find it annoying.
yeah. If you want to
So,
put on some personality, that's the time to do it.
yeah.
We're all grown-ups trying to have a nice drink after whatever it is you
Mhm.
do during the day, Mike. It's none of my business. Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that guy.
But anyway,
You're gonna be wrestling Bengal tigers to the ground soon enough.
but I did notice something about corned beef that I wasn't sure if I've experienced before.
It's neither corn nor beef.
No, but here's the thing. I don't know if you've had this experience. I don't know if it's my aging process, but when I have corned beef and I urinate,
Oh boy.
there is a
Well, yeah.
strong corned beef odor.
Strong odor.
Corned beef.
I've
You know,
never heard that
I
one.
mean, I'm going to go out on an edge, a limb, and say that it actually smells good because it's got a strong corned beef note. Should we? does does urine have notes
Sure.
like a fine wine?
I mean, asparagus gets all the publicity for that.
Right, asparagus. Yes, yeah.
Like
That's the number one. That's the
that seems to
champ.
be the only food people talk about in that context.
Right.
To be honest, I'd rather smell whatever corned beef smells like.
Exactly. And I'm thinking, is there any other food that does this? Asparagus, of course, but what is there another meat that does this? I mean, this is I think I'm on the frontier of some sort of discovery here.
The Irish. I mean, am I right?
But there should be a study conducted to, establish what foods cause your
You know,
urine.
sometimes that's good because sometimes how do I say this? Sometimes I feel like my armpits smell like Fritos.
Well,
Ooh. And then I'm like, of course, I'm like, oh, that's horrible. Let's
yeah,
put another coat of Old Spice on.
yeah.
But I am also like, I love Fritos. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
when we were kids, my brothers and I used to, I guess when you're kids, your feet smell more because my feet don't smell like they did when I was a kid. I
I
don't know
don't
if
know.
it was all the running around or whatever.
Well, your nose is further away from it to begin with.
But
And
we
you've
used
had
to
decades to get used to it.
we used to say that smelly socks smell like Doritos.
What magical socks were you? Wait,
Well,
what do your feet smell like?
I don't think my feet smell like anything now, but because maybe we weren't changing our socks as regularly back then. I don't know, but my feet, playing basketball or whatever when we were kids, I guess they were sweating more. And yeah, we established that smelly socks and Doritos had a familiar.
Hey, the 70s were a
sense.
crazy time. But your feet smell like Doritos. My pits smell like Fritos.
Yeah.
We are some delightful smelling gentlemen.
And maybe these snack producers know this, and they it's like a subconscious thing that they try to make snacks that smell like various body odors.
Are you blowing
That
my
that
mind
that,
right
that there's
now?
a subconscious pull that we you know, as repulsive as we may be by it, we're also drawn to it because it's our familiar smell.
Oh, I'm not repulsed by it.
No,
When I smell it, I'm like, ooh.
tasty. So anyway, that was my St. Patrick's Day. You know,
Yeah,
bit of a
mine was
spoil.
nondescript. I don't think
Uh-huh.
anything
No.
happened. So.
So this week I went to a different place. It was a little closer to home. I had to swing by the post office.
The PO.
So I went to a different pizzeria, and I got the turkey and cheese
Hold
salad.
on. This seems like I forgot my water. Can I sprint out over to my desk in 15 seconds to get my water?
Okay.
Can you dance for these
All
people?
right. I'll do some more Pantera.
Oh God. Yeah.
Pantera, people. Just what you want to hear on St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, Greg should be back in a few seconds. I will not subject you to more Pantera noises. He said 15 seconds. I think we're looking at 30 now. I should have expected that. A nice picture window. Some clouds in the sky. Nice blue sky. I don't know where Greg is broadcasting from tonight. It seems like it's always a different locale. Another one of his mysterious ways. And he should be back briefly. Now he's yeah, I'm sure he's just standing out of camera range to see how long I could do this. But I guess I'm a trained professional. I could just blather on. So anyway, I went to a new spot. He's just gonna jump in anytime. I hope he's okay. He should have been back by now. I hope
really
I don't.
hoping
I don't have to.
I was hoping you'd still be singing when I got back.
I was going to just call in a wellness check. That was the longest 15 seconds. And where's the water? Oh, you went to a fountain? Oh, there it is. Okay.
What if I never came back?
No, I thought you were pulling a gag. I thought you were out of camera range having a jolly old laugh.
No. What if,
Anyway.
what if I didn't come back and you were like, fuck, maybe I shouldn't have been an asshole about Xmas time?
No, yeah, it could have been vengeance. Yeah, vengeance did cross my mind. I went a little too hard in the beginning of this episode.
All right, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
You're talking about pizza.
Yeah, I went to a different pizza place. They have a salad list. So an item on there, turkey and cheese salad.
Oh.
Which again, you know, for the salad purists, it's probably not the healthiest. You know, there was no spinach in it. It was lots of a generous helping of cubed provolone, a sharp provolone.
Yeah. You get
and
a lot
some
of salads, big cubes of cheese,
and some small squares of turkey. Fair amount of them, very generous. I'll get 2 meals out of it. It had both your lettuces. It had the iceberg, the romaine. It had tomatoes. It had onions. It had olives. I mean, if a salad has olives in it, I'm pretty much won over because.
Really?
Yeah, I love olives. You know, and if they're in a salad, I mean.
Did I know that?
What's that? I don't know.
Remember the Garfield cartoon where he had put his hand in the olive jar and pulls them out and he's got an olive stuck on each claw?
Yeah, no, I love olives. And does your salad bar have olives?
I don't know.
I would go nuts. So. I would go nuts with the olives.
I don't know if you see olives at like a regular, like this is a pretty, I mean, it's a nice salad bar, but it's like standard.
Yeah.
I don't know if those have olives, but then again, I wouldn't have noticed them because I don't like them. So I would have just, and I would have been screaming at the guy in front of me, just, ooh, green olives, black olives with
Yeah.
Hmm.
But anyway, so yeah, the salad was good. I got the house dressing, just oil and vinegar, and you know, it was good. Had some nice bread with it. I guess that's the big wild card when you get these salads at these pizza places is what kind of bread are you going to get with it?
Hmm.
And this came with these two nice little, look like, homemade bread, little,
Yeah, baguettes.
yeah, like that. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, fresh.
Sometimes the bread they give you, you're trying to be healthy.
Hmm.
Then sometimes you get the bread and negates it because it's so
Yeah,
it's so
I
much. But a
know.
lot of times it's really good.
Yeah, no. I
Yeah,
know. Like I sasaid, baby steps, baby steps.
yeah. Oh, I'm
I
not
you
shitting
know.
on. I'm just saying that's how it always. And you want to throw the bread away, but it's usually so good. It's like, oh,
And then this place also had fried ravioli, so I threw a little order in that in there.
I love fried ravioli, but only with meat in it.
Well, they only had cheese,
Yeah,
but
most.
these
I'm
were
not-
plump compared to the last ones I had at the different place,
I found that
Emilio's.
baked meat ravioli is hard to find. I've realized.
Yeah, I think people realize that they don't know what that filling is. What meat is it? It
Well,
says it
but
says
we
it's meat, but what meat is it really? Can you
yeah,
identify it?
but we all eat Chef Boyardee
No, not
ravioli.
me. Not anymore.
Well,
You're,
but
s-
you know what I
you're
mean.
still eating Chef Boyardee?
No, but like we've
Oh,
all
okay.
had that ravioli.
Yeah.
Like whatever that meat
When we
is,
were seven.
that's I'm fine with whatever that is. What are you expecting? Filet mignon and your fucking ravioli?
No, but once you get past a certain year, you should know that like you don't know what's in that meat filled ravioli. Maybe I'm being a little hard on the meat raviolis. I think if you go to one of these Italian delis, and we'll get Jerry in the comments to fill us in. What I'm sure their fillings are superior to what you're going to get in Celeste, I used to actually buy raviolis. I never bought the meat ones. Is it Celeste, the frozen raviolis?
I know they do frozen pizzas, so maybe. I've never bought
What?
frozen ravioli.
When's the last time you've
The only
never,
time I've
never?
ever made pasta homemade, I
Uh-huh.
made ravioli. How
Uh-huh.
crazy is that? Took me 8 hours. I didn't even have the pasta machine. I had to do it all by hand with a
Oh,
roller.
jeez.
8 hours. And of
Yeah,
all things, I
yeah,
made ravioli, which seems like the most difficult. I don't know why I chose that. So
yeah. God love people who can put that much time into their meals.
yeah, after 8 hours, I was like, it's fine, but it's no better than the Ronzoni I could have knocked out in like 2 minutes.
Were you getting paid for those 8 hours you put in?
Again, here we go. I was back. It was back during my Manny days. So
Okay. Well, speaking of long preparation for food, Gen Z TikTokers are at it again.
oh boy,
They're obsessed with an ancient Chinese delicacy called dragon's beard candy.
my old nickname.
It's
Here I go, coach.
apparently it's a 2,000-year-old delicacy that was prepared for royalty during the Han Dynasty. And basically it's the Chinese version of cotton candy. But it takes a long time to make. It's made out of sugar, corn syrup, vinegar, and water.
How's it different than cotton candy? And what is
Well,
cotton candy? What does make up cotton candy? Now I'm thinking about
well,
it.
it's sugar basically, and it's
Sugar.
probably corn syrup, and you stir it together, and it's the same premise here. Although you're going to get this sort of bowl that you're going to just keep pulling, and it's going to come apart in strands. And the goal, and these TikTokers are just showing these endless videos of them pulling apart this dragon's beard candy and counting the number of strands that they can pull out of this.
Are these actual candies they found from 2,000 years ago? That would be
That's a
interesting.
good question. How did they trace it back? It didn't say. It just said
I I think it's a
There,
lot
there
of
must be there
TikTok.
must be some text or something from the past that somebody dug up, and
I
then
think they're
they
bullshit.
brought it to TikTok, and now somebody called Art Riv has had 20 million views of preparing in a visually appealing way
Mm.
the preparation of this Chinese cotton candy.
God bless them.
Any thoughts? God bless them.
Mm.
Well, I did
I never
finish
liked
my.
cotton candy.
What's that? Yeah,
Never
yeah, no, I mean, kids like it. It's like a
And-
sugar rush. Yeah, I
But
mean,
you always see it when it's like it's 1,000 degrees outside and you're happy to be walking on baking hot asphalt.
yeah,
That's when cotton candy always makes an appearance.
yeah, it's a summertime treat. Yeah, you
Ugh.
don't see people in the winter in
It's
their
gross and hot and sticky. Ugh.
in their coats and mittens,
Not for me, Mike. Not for me.
eating cotton candy. Um, but I did finish.
You watching Manhunt?
Man, oh yeah, it started, huh?
Yeah, are you watching it?
I didn't start it yet.
I'm boycotting it because they didn't take my advice from over a decade ago. It should be a comedy, and apparently it's not. So
No, let's not go down that road again.
they don't want to
Although,
work with me. They don't want to make money. I already have one friend who watched the first episode and is like, "I'm out. It sucks." So,
it's that bad, huh?
well, this is just one person's opinion.
Well, I saw Abraham Lincoln isn't in it, so it's literally just the John Wilkes Booth version.
Well, that's the book. I mean,
Well, no, you get the whole Lincoln and where he's sitting, and I don't know if I don't even think you're going to get that. I think the show's going to start after the assassination, and then the manhunt begins.
let me ask you this:
Maybe you'll hear the shot off stage, and then you
Wait.
see John Wilkes Booth bolting for his horse in the alleyway.
So if the movie opens and there's John Wilkes Booth running, it's like, oh my, and somebody says he shot the president. You're like, whoa, 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 what?
No,
What's
I
happening?
mean, yeah,
What's
no, I
hap-
get it. You don't
I'm
have to
lost.
show it, but it's like, why wouldn't you show that? I don't get that decision that because
Well,
we
I don't
all
know why
know
they
the
showed it.
story.
I don't know. I was annoyed in the movie Lincoln when they tacked it on at the end. Remember that?
What's that?
The movie Lincoln? It was like this 2 hours
Yeah,
of
no, I saw the movie, but
process about legislation and
right,
And
yeah. Yeah.
then for some reason they tacked the whole death thing on at the end.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
Like, what's the part? What's the?
Well, was it around the same time? Did it happen? I mean, I don't remember all the details from the movie. I mean,
I
did it
don't
happen like a
remember.
few days after the events depicted or whatever?
I don't remember. I don't think so. Not that close to Justified, but like just end it. Just if that's what the movie's about. Just we all know what happened.
But here's the thing about Manhunt, the book, that I didn't know all the details about rushing Lincoln to the house, and all the details there. So I mean, I it sounds like this television show is not even going to go there.
But that should be a different, because Manhunt really is about Booth in that whole chase.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've established that the author is in love with him by the end of the book, comparing him to Jesus Christ. It gets ridiculous at the end.
Good looking man.
But
like,
I'm not saying that story is not worth it, but I mean, why can't we have both? It's like, can't we feel the weight of what this guy did, or we're just going to glamorize John Wilkes Booth like the author did?
Well, as someone who spends a lot of his days constantly getting pounded with, we have to explain every single thing. I think it's okay. Doesn't bother me.
Well, it has your blessing. Maybe I'll take a look at it. We can talk about it.
No, not at all. I'm boycotting it.
You're boycotting it.
It literally.
I'm curious.
The opposite.
I'm curious just to see when I saw Lincoln's name wasn't in the the credits. I'm like, what?
But my point is, that could just be, why have the two stories? Why convolute it? We know what happens. This is that story. I'm just saying I'd be okay with that. But then again, I'm boycotting it because it's not a comedy. So fuck them. Okay. But I do hope if you watch it, I do want to hear what you say. So.
Yeah. I did continue my deep dive with the Kinks. I went into the 80s.
give a shout out to Jessica. She tore through a couple of albums too.
Yeah, some people
Oh,
were
everybody else
were
did.
joining us on the journey.
Yep.
So I listened to One for the Road, the live album. I listened to
Why don't you listen to
Give the
live?
People What They Want. I listened to State of Confusion, Word of Mouth,
Mm.
Think Visual,
Mm. UK.
and their last album, I guess, is Phobia, which was 1993. All the previous albums were their 80s output. And I'll say this for the 80s, not as bad as some of those concept albums
No.
in the 70s.
There's only two, really.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm wrong. Well, three.
Preservation Act is 3 records, 2 records, and then Soap
Well,
Opera.
but one of those is good. So
Yeah, okay.
Preservation Act 2, Schoolboys, and Soap Opera, unlistenable.
Okay.
Unlistenable.
But I'll say these for these 80s records,
Each of them has a little something.
they do, and that's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say they remained relevant. They didn't become irrelevant in the 80s. They had, each song, each album's got at least one fairly popular, and I didn't look up the charts to verify some of this, but let's go through. Give the People What They Want has Destroyer,
Right.
which I guess they sort of recycle. You Really Got Me riff on that one. they
What's the one where they really rip off Satisfaction?
Oh yeah, that's Catch Me Now I'm Falling.
Like, I can't believe Mick didn't, call us
I
racist
think
over that one.
I think maybe it was because the Kinks were the only ones that could probably get away with that.
True. That's true.
They probably knew them a little bit. But yeah, so for Give the People What They Want, it's got Destroyer and it's got Better Things.
Better Things.
Which is that's a nice little gem that I only found about late in my Kinks experience. Then, of course, State of Confusion has Come Dancing on it, which is huge.
Right. But I'm sorry, I think I mentioned before, Marky Ramone's band put out a great version of Better Things in the mid-90s at some point. Marky
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
Recruiters. Great version.
Really? Okay. I'll check that out.
It's very faithful, but it's just a little more rocking.
Okay.
Don't listen to the rest of the Marky Ramone album. That's really great. Surprise.
No, I'll pull up that track.
Yeah.
But State of Confusion, Come Dancing, is that their biggest hit now? I think it may be, right?
In America, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a couple number ones over there, but I think definitely here. Yeah, it would have to be.
I mean, it's got a nice.
Lola was a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like Come Dancing was like 2 or 3 or something, right?
It was up there, and it had MTV boosting it, right?
It's a great video, right? It's very of its era.
Yeah.
It reeks of that whole British kitchen sink drama, Coronation Street feel. Looks like 82. Really cool video.
Yeah. No, 83. I mean, that was just the beginning of MTV, so they kind of timed it well there.
And yet to have your biggest American hit that late into your career, now obviously they got screwed by the being banned or whatever, but even then to have the fortitude or whatever come through 15, 20 years later, big hit.
Yeah. And then they do it again on the next album, Word of Mouth, Living on a Thin Line.
And that's
a popular song. People know that song.
It was on what's the show I'm thinking of?
Oh, I think it's probably been used a few times, right? I mean,
The Sopranos. The Sopranos.
Oh, The Sopranos used it.
At the end of the Sopranos episode.
Okay.
What's the other big hit? My brain is freezing. Sorry.
Well, they do a version of Steely Dan's "Do It Again."
Oh boy.
No, I'm fooling around. Yeah,
I
had to apologize for my mistake with the. I thought the Kinks had done a cover of a Bad Company song, "Rock and Roll Fantasy," but it was not the same.
I mean, you could have taken 2 seconds and
just the same title. No, but I listened to it and I had it on in the background. I wasn't, but when I got to the chorus, it sounded similar. So I was like, oh, is this the Bad Company song? But anyway, I forgot to mention on State of Confusion, Bernadette, a nice little kind of a
Mm,
rocker where I think they pretty much lifted a Roy Orbison riff while we're keeping track of some of the borrowed riffs that they do.
yeah.
Um,
Don't Forget to Dance. I've always loved. That's a great song. That's the one I was trying to think of.
don't forget to dance. Yeah, that's yeah. That looks like I'm going looking at the
Don't forget-
Spotify plays. As far as Spotify plays, that's the second most popular song on State of Confusion.
And give the people what they want. Around the Dial, it's kind of cheesy.
Uh-huh.
It's a little 280s, and you can tell he's trying to be he's trying to be like, we need to be modern.
Yeah.
It's a little cheesy, but it rocks pretty good. But yeah, to your point, you're right. Every album, nobody's putting these albums up against something else or Village Green or whatever. But
Mhm.
each album in this run, after the Dreadful, they like you said have at least one or two songs that are either super good or
Right.
good.
They remain relevant, and they're professional records. They don't sound
Yeah,
like shit, or they're good. I
until
mean,
Think
they're
Visual, like
professionally played.
yeah,
Yeah. The songs don't grab me like the early hits,
no,
but they're professional musicians, and they're not like horrible records.
yeah, and I don't think
I
he was
actually felt,
mailing it in at the time. I think he was.
yeah,
But after that, like starting with Think Visual, I can't get through that.
yeah. Think Visual, yeah. It's a weird record, right? I mean, there's
That,
not that one
yeah,
may have been the beginning of the end. I'm thinking.
definitely, yeah,
Because
that,
then there's a layoff between Think Visual and Phobia
yeah,
of, let's
4 years,
see.
I think.
No,
4
it's
years,
longer than that, 7 years.
7.
Think Visual came out in '86,
Oh,
and Phobia didn't come out until '93.
yeah. So the
So it's
last King songs I love are from word of mouth.
mhm,
Living on a Thin Line.
yeah.
And the rest is okay. Do It Again's okay. That they tried to make that a hit. Uh, I don't think it really did, but
Welcome to Sleazy Town, which is I don't yeah, I guess they tried to like sort of do some of these character studies, and I mean, even on I forgot to mention, I posted it on Twitter, Art Lover on Give the People What They Want,
yeah.
which is sort of a character study of a pedophile, which is, was that
Sometimes
necessary?
you write too many songs. I think he's just
Uh,
grasping for subjects at that point.
he's just, all right, yeah. Do we need a song about them? Yeah, it was a little weird.
But what's crazy about him is only a year or two ago, I realized I'd never checked out that Americana album he did.
That's a decent record. I
It's
did
a good
pick up
record,
that. Yeah,
decent.
yeah, yeah.
Included in that one song, I guess was the single, Working Man's Cafe or whatever.
Hmm.
A little eye rolly because he's a little too, I am Mr. Working Class and you're
Uh-huh.
a little bit too, but it's a great song.
Yeah, I got to listen to that again. I haven't listened to that in a while, but I picked that up when it came out. It got great reviews, and
Yeah.
I
Did he do
liked
more
it.
than one with them or maybe just one?
I'm not sure. I think that's the only Ray Davies solo record I have.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think you've summed it up well in that from the beginning through Preservation Act 1, the first half,
mhm.
great, classic.
The peak years.
Right. Then it gets into
I don't
like,
go as far as the Preservation Act one. I go to Lola,
okay.
but no, actually Lola, and
No,
then Muswell
everybody's in showbiz.
Hillbillies.
And everybody's in showbiz.
No, I don't include that.
Oh, you too good for
I mean,
Celluloid
it's got
Heroes?
Celluloid Heroes. No, I'm not too good. But
Sitting in My Hotel?
that's my argument, that I love these Kink singles compilations.
Okay, but you
Greatest,
go through Muswell.
yeah,
Okay.
Muswell, yeah.
I go through the first half of Preservation Act 1, Preservation Act 2, soap opera, Schoolboys, terrible.
Uh,
Misfits and Sleepwalker, again, each half is really good to great. The rest is kind of terrible. And then we get to the 79, 80 years. And yeah, there's at least two songs on each album that are great or good. leave their mark. And then after that, you can jump off.
Well, they jump off. I mean, I guess that's,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, Think Visual, I guess, was
I mean, as a
the
fan, you can just stop listening after.
Think Visual. I don't know what the numbers were on that, but they must have been pretty bad because, yeah, there was a long layoff. I mean, that has Welcome to Sleazy Town. I'm listening to it, and it's like, again, it was like a borrowed riff. So I actually looked it up, and people are saying it sounds like a Genesis song, misunderstood, or Hot Fun in the Summertime,
God.
which I think that's what I was hearing because I don't know Genesis very well. But
That's a little surprising to me. I would have thought you had more of a Genesis. Just being of that era.
No, I grew up around that music. I have friends who were into it. Yes, and Genesis and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, the prog rock, you know. I did not fall for that. I did not go down that road.
Like me with hair metal. That was my day. I didn't fall for it.
Good for you. Good for you.
Smart.
We dodged 2 bullets.
Oh,
yeah.
We had to tell the story.
But yeah, people were commenting on the Kinks borrowing riffs and stuff. You know, it's sort of like it's an established thing. Phobia.
The Kinks are famous for stealing riffs. Is this?
Well, they've got a bunch of songs that, you know, you just talked about the Jumpin' Jack Flash riff, and you know, it's like,
well, yeah, okay. By the end, when nobody gave a shit, they were probably out of ideas. I'm sorry. You think somebody's ripped off Really Got Me once or twice?
Oh yeah. No.
All day and all that. You don't think somebody's ripped that off?
No, and I think that's the argument that like the Kinks can do that because they were getting ripped off as well. You know,
when it comes that late, like I said, after Sleepwalk, all that, I kind of look the other way. I'm not defending. I'm not charging. Whatever. But no, I've never heard them as being famous for stealing riffs.
Well, you can Google it after the show.
Well, if you saw it in an internet thread,
and you can jump into a thread in which that's what all they're talking about.
Well, then that's legit. Then I apologize.
Check out the Steve Hoffman music thread
sounds like
about the Kinks. Anyway, so
let's have a end of courtroom summation.
Well, let me just say something about Phobia. So after Think Visual, I'm thinking, oh, Phobia is going to be dreadful. But you know what? I didn't think Phobia was that bad. I thought it was actually, I'd give that the edge over Think Visual. It didn't have, you know, like the one standout track like the previous 80s albums. But it, you know, it's long. There's 16 songs on here. But I thought it was more interesting than Think Visual. And it's got a song, I don't know if you remember the song Don't, which is like sort of an anti-suicide song.
I haven't listened to those turds in a while.
Okay, well, check out that song. I'm like, that would be a nice answer song to, I know it's one of your slices, the Pro-Suicide, The Ledge by The Replacements.
Are we calling that pro-suicide?
Yeah, he jumps at the end, and
I don't think he's promoting it.
He's kind of glorified though. He's finally getting people's attention.
I think he'd argue he was just putting it out there. Hey, I feel the way you feel. You don't have to kill yourself.
But this is one way you can get a lot of attention
by killing yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is what Can't Hardly Wait originally was about. But then he changed the words, and then his big suicide song is The Ledge, and then they tried to put it on MTV, and they were like, "Oh, you can't have a suicide song on there."
Well, I like Don't. You know,
I got that wrong.
Check it out. It's a very
Can't Hardly Wait
song.
Was originally about suicide. They said, "Oh, you can't do that," so he changed the words or whatever, and he's probably doing it anyway. And the joke is, by the time they got to The Ledge, the MTV was like, "Oh, we can't air a song about suicide." I completely botched all of that. I fucking hate myself. Anyway. But you have inspired me. I'm going to go back and give these 2 albums a spin, which I have not done.
Phobia more than, well, I'm not really endorsing Think Visual, but you know, I've heard worse records than Think Visual, you know.
That's the nicest things I've thought of these two records in 15, 20 years. So
Uh-huh.
hey, you're an inspiration.
But here's the other thing I want to suggest. Maybe we can get into a little conversation. I just got, you know, I started thinking about sort of the timing of these albums and the decline of the Kinks. And I'm thinking, well, their decline is sort of at the period of time when rock pretty much dropped out of the top part of Billboard charts. You know, rock
Yeah,
was
that's
in
true too.
decline
Yeah.
in the 80s, and then by the 90s, rock is really, you know, it has its little last stand, I guess, with the Nirvana, but you know, and some of the grunge stuff. But
Mhm.
I looked on Wikipedia, just looking at Billboard number ones, and that was very revealing because you know, number one Billboard hits rock songs, it's very few and far between. We are in the pop, hip hop era, and rock is now a subgenre like the blues.
Radio during when I was in high school was the absolute worst. I thank God every day that I had a friend who had an older brother who was in college, and that's how I got the Ramones and the Clash and the Replacements. Otherwise, it would have been Poison, Bill Bev DeVoe, Kenny
I
Loggins.
like Belle Biv DeVoe. They're good.
What? Yeah, yeah, okay. You know, I'm not saying I'm listening
They
to
had
records.
some hits.
Whatever, it was just total garbage on the radio.
Hmm.
So to your point, number one, they were old by then anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, they're
Yeah.
old
No.
anyway.
Yeah.
And yeah, the odds of a classic rock band having a song in the top 40 was slim to none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, I think the Kinks may have, you know, this is just a theory. I don't know. But I think they probably just saw the writing on the wall that rock music was pretty much done. And why bang their heads against the wall anymore? You know, they had a good run. They had a great run. Most bands never achieve what they achieved. So
I think most bands would
they
be happy
deserve to
with
be
that.
in the upper echelons.
So do you feel like you like the Kinks more than you did a month ago? Under my tutelage.
Well, I have no, I was glad to go on this little journey. It had been a while, and I never went through it one album or you know, I was never a big Kinks album guy. I had those big hit records and but I never got into playing them regularly. You know, I played them, you know,
Mhm.
but I like to play the greatest hits, Kink Chronicles in particular.
That is a
And as a
in an era where what was coming out? Oh, there's some new Bruce greatest hits thing popping out. I
oh
saw,
yeah, yeah,
and I'm
and
like,
he's just making every last grab he can. I mean,
well, it's not even like it's just like 14 songs stuck together. And I'm like,
yeah,
in this era of streaming,
right.
do you need are these greatest hits things even a
Yeah,
thing?
no, well, that's a good point. I mean, his fans already
Anyway,
have them. Who's
anybody,
this for? Is he
yeah,
thinks like,
and it's like Born to Run, Thunder Road, Born
yeah,
on the
yeah,
like whatever
the
songs, you
usual
know.
suspects. Yeah.
Right.
And
And
he
it's
put one of those out for the book. So it's like, how many introductory CDs does the younger generation need? You
yeah.
know?
I'm like, who's buying best ofs? So on one hand, it's like I don't see myself. Well, that's not true, but like I kind of roll my eyes at these compilations, which is not totally true because I grew up when I grew up, and those things did mean a lot. But the King's Chronicles is a uniquely great
Yeah.
because and then again, it's not really a greatest hits. It is a true compilation.
Yeah. And there's
Like what
singles
they
on there.
thought at the time, like, hey, this is great shit. It's not
Yeah.
just here's our 20 number one hits. It's really thoughtful. They put in a couple of B sides, a couple of things that I think it was for America. So a couple of things that like America missed.
Right.
It's very, very well done. So yeah.
How about that box set? Did you ever get that Kinks box set?
Which one? No,
Uh, let me see if I can.
I got the Muswell Hillbillies. Everybody's in Showbiz reissue.
Well, they've been putting out. Actually, it's kind of funny. They call it the Journey. There,
Oh, that. Oh,
there,
no, no.
no,
I
yeah.
mean,
There's part one and part two of the Journey.
yeah.
But there is a box set. Let me see if I can get it here.
The Journey,
Um,
I'm happy they did it, but yeah, I mean, I already have everything.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
the Kinks have quite a number of these. They have something called the Anthology, came out in 2014, 64 through 71. That's probably pretty solid.
That's
Uh,
probably really good, yeah.
I didn't pick that up, but
Yeah, you can picture how good that is. Yeah.
that's it. That's the peak period. So that's probably got everything you want on that. That was like I guess a box set too. It looks like there's like 4 CDs. But
I
then
mean,
they
now
put
the
out
compilations that I look back and mean the most to me aren't greatest hits. They are like, did you ever have the Burning Ambitions compilation, that punk rock
no,
album?
no.
Like when I got a hold of that when I was a kid, it had the Buzzcocks on it. It's the first time we heard the 101ers, the Vibrators. It was incredible. Uh, it's called Burning Ambitions. And
Mhm.
since then, I think they've pumped out a couple different volumes. But this came out in like 1984 or something. Like that kind of compilation still means a lot to me.
Going nuts trying to get the name of this box set. I'll have it very briefly.
It's not the
Uh,
Journey.
no, they've put out they've been cranking out the compilations too.
Well, they had the big 60th anniversary.
But there was a box set that had a lot of like rarities, and let me see what it was. Uh,
I mean, yeah, now you just go on Spotify and make your playlist with the rarities. So.
well, there you go. Yeah, but I'm gonna check out this box set. It's called Picture Book, and
Oh,
it came
right,
out
right,
in
right.
2008.
Yeah.
Did you ever give that a listen? I mean, it got a nice review.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, any kind of greatest hits thing, I'm like this Journey thing.
Yeah,
I mean, this thing's been going on for like a year now,
yeah.
and I'm happy for it. I'm excited. I hope
Uh-huh.
people are buying it.
Yeah.
I don't need it. It's like,
Right.
but
They
I
just
did run to buy the Muswell Hillbillies, Everybody's in Showbiz, uh, box set thing reissue. So I don't know.
yeah. I mean, if it's a special album, I get it.
I mean, with Dave Davies liking 3 of my tweets now. I mean, just saying. At some
Very,
point, I don't want to be a thing where he asks me, he
uh,
references it, and then I have to pretend
uh,
I listened to it or
uh,
bought.
yeah, he liked one of my tweets too, right?
Oh, right, come on. You've already depressed me. You have
with
to.
no, you acknowledged it, right? I thought you did anyway.
My tweet or your tweet?
It was my tweet, and then I thought you saw it appear on his
Hey,
his-
let Dave
what's it?
Davies try to come between us, buddy.
No.
Not happening.
I
Sorry,
wanted to
Dave.
get him on the show.
All right.
You know.
Well, now I'm saying 60th anniversary. Today's the 60th anniversary of when Ray finished writing You've Really Got Me. I'm like, wow, that we have that documented? Like it's like
Yeah.
now I have entire books minute by minute of the day John and Paul met. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no, these anniversaries are just I follow some music thing on Twitter, and every day it's a new anniversary. The 28th anniversary is meaningless to me. Just stick to the round numbers, 5s and 0s.
but how would you like to have written a song that is so iconic that somebody did make a point of finding out when he not when they recorded it, not when he says he wrote it, when he finished writing it. It's like, wow.
Yeah, no, that let's face it, the music nerds are up there with the sports nerds and their statistics, and there are people like that. It's like, yeah, I like to be informed, but do I need to know all the minutia?
And can we say that at the end of the day, no pun intended, that front room where they grew up, Ray and Dave Davies, where he wrote all those songs in the beginning, that should be a landmark. Their house should be landmarked with the blue circle or whatever they give out in England.
Yeah, I agree.
To
Yeah.
be honest, maybe it is, but it
Mhm.
should be if it's not.
I finished the Miles Davis book, which was that book is something else.
Oh.
To borrow the title of a Kinks album.
Oh, nicely done, young Michael.
I recommend it. You really get a sense of his voice in the book. You might not want to read the last chapter where he just pontificates and generalities and
Is it like Johnny Ramone? Is it just top 10 lists?
no,
Like,
it's
book?
you know what other people might find you probably wouldn't enjoy because jazz is different. I mean, they're playing with different musicians all the time, and so Miles Davis is putting together all these different groups. So so every
Well,
time he puts together a new group, you get the listing of who's in the group, and I think it's probably about half the book. Every page has a listing of who's on bass, who's on tenor sax, who's on vibes. So.
to be honest, I think I'd rather read about jazz than hear it.
Well,
So
check this book out. I recommend it. Be prepared for the last chapter, though. It's a little rough. I mean,
I'll tell you when I went to his house.
you went to Miles Davis' house?
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I was talking about Muddy Waters.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. I'm sorry.
All right.
What year did he die? Miles Davis.
Miles Davis. Now you stumped me. I should know
I mean,
that.
you just read a book about him.
But it's about his life. It came out. It came out in '89.
Oh,
So let me just get the quick
a little quick.
information. Yeah, I'm sorry. I
I
should
mean,
have had this at hand. I wasn't ready
reading a book
to.
about the guy. I mean,
But his music, I have to say,
how
as
long does it
far
take you to find somebody's birthday? I mean, how long does it take you to get on Wikipedia?
well, this
I'll take less time going down and getting water.
I'm on All Music, and it's slow. He died in 1991, so he died a couple years after the book was written. The book came out in '89.
He was 65.
He
Okay.
he was young. He was having health problems. He was. The book is rather blunt in talking about heroin and its use in jazz circles. I mean, he's naming names. He's just like flat out talking about everybody's drug problems,
I gotta have to scan the index for my name.
including his own. I mean, he went through some rough periods with drugs, and of course, like everybody, cocaine was everywhere apparently in the '70s. And it took a toll on him eventually.
Killing it for what? I know that.
But definitely an interesting book. But I did read. I already looked ahead to the Dave Davies book, and the first chapter has a mind blower. I had no idea he was a father at 15. I was like, what? Like that was a mind blower. I'm like, what?
Then they separated them, and then they refound each other like 30 years later.
Yeah, the families like intervened. Yeah, it's kind of a sad story, but yeah, I didn't know that they reunited. But that's at least there was a reunion. But
There's a great B-side about that called Susanna's Still Alive. Great song.
yeah,
Well,
no,
now, I
so
don't
I'm
think I
gonna
hate you.
I'm gonna be jumping into that book soon. I'm still going with Sherwood Anderson, which I'm really enjoying. I finished The Triumph of the Egg. I'm gonna read Death in the Woods next. Just like good, weird stuff. I mean, it's like
I didn't even start that Russian novel I was talking about last week, Father and Sons. Well, I moved, so I've been busy. Excuse me.
okay. Yeah, you can live your
Get off
life.
my ass.
You can live your life.
Let me live my life.
Yeah, do it.
Do you watch Friday Night Lights?
I watched until it sort of, to me, it jumped the shark with some sort of murder. Right?
Yeah.
Am I right about that?
Yeah, but it did go off the rails, but it did get back on the rails.
Oh, did it?
I know
Yeah.
what you're saying.
What was that?
It's something about
One
the
season?
end. Huh?
What was that? Just one season?
Yeah. Well, they thought they were being canceled,
Uh-huh.
but they were like, "Fuck it," and just kind of. And then they're like, "Oh shit, we're coming back." And the last 3 seasons were we're back to normal after that nonsense.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I've been doing a rewatch for some reason. I mean, I've seen it 1,000 times. And the finale has a scenario that is beyond ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
But if you haven't watched it, there's no point to it. But
Okay.
you could burn through the 80 episodes and get to the finale for next week.
No, I thought the first couple seasons were well done. Yeah, I
And
mean, I
it's
like, small town life, that's interesting, You can find interesting stories in the most mundane, uh, you know,
well said, Mike.
conditions. Mundane conditions. Anyway,
That,
I'm
I mean, it's
petering
one of
out
my
here. I think
all-time favorite shows, but yeah, that second season murder thing was
that was
ridiculous.
only the second season.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then the finale, it's still a great finale and everything's okay, spoiler alert, nobody dies or anything crazy. But there's a scenario that drives me insane, and I wish you knew it so I could scream at you about it. But I guess I'll have to wait.
I'll
So
take a peek. It's the finale, final season.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if it would make you'd have to watch a couple episodes leading up. You'd have to
Yeah, yeah. No,
really
I
get the
could do that. Yeah, I could
I
check
should
that
have
out.
a number, like a toll-free number. People can call me and I just yell at them about whatever shows I'm watching.
Show.
I'd pay
I,
for
I
I'd pay for that.
I dipped back into, just for one episode each. I dipped back into Cheers and I dipped back into Only Fools and Horses.
Don't
I,
you dare, Mike. Don't you tease me. No,
Only
no.
Fools and
I'm only
Horses.
now recovering from what you said at the beginning of the show. Don't hurt me, Mike.
You know, I saw the episode where they watch the guy's dog.
Oh,
It's like a huge dog.
wait. Is that the first Albert one you've seen? You skipped ahead. That's the fifth one in season 4.
Well, I think that's where I left off.
Oh, so you did see when
I
Granddad
saw a
died?
couple Albert episodes, which is
Okay.
like why I kind of pulled the plug for a bit.
All right.
And actually, it was interesting that episode they had very little Albert, so I'm like, oh, did they know that like Albert was going over like a lead balloon, and they're
Did
just
they
gonna
say, "Hey, one day Mike List will call us"?
throw him in there for a little seasoning here and there,
That was a fun episode. That's the first episode that Marlene, Boise's wife, appears in.
Okay.
See a lot
Well,
more.
and then the Cheers episode was the first episode with Kelsey Grammer.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's a lot earlier than I always thought. Like he came like the third season or something,
Third
right?
season, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched 2 full seasons of Cheers. And then when I heard the old bartender died and it's coming up in this season, I kind of pulled the plug for a while on that. But I dipped back in to see it, and yeah, it was funny because I don't know if you remember that particular episode. You see Kelsey Grammer a couple times just in the background, and like I didn't watch the show, but I knew he became a major figure, Frasier, and but I didn't even know his introduction and all that.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting to see his introduction, and
Yeah, it's funny
yeah,
because
he was
I
with
think,
Diane and at the time, and
yeah, I think if you asked me, I'd have guessed, oh, he came in like the 4th or 5th season or whatever. But yeah, he came a lot earlier than
yeah.
you think.
And then they set up the triangle with Diane and Frasier and what's the guy with the toupee?
The single greatest
That's
Norm
not a toupee.
entrance, you know about Sam?
Yes, Sam.
Is everybody Norm, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
There's this one where Frasier brings in his baby for the first time. Hey, everybody, here's my baby. Or no, shit, I blew this one too. He comes in there with Lilith. He's got the newborn baby or toddler and Lilith. And he's always trying to tell her he's not at Cheers a lot. And Norm walks in, and this baby who's never said a word turns to Norm.
I'm having an almost Norm-like existence at my local establishment. People are calling me Music Mike, and I get a Music Mike every once in a while. Hey, Music Mike.
You want me to start calling you Music Mike?
No. I don't encourage the nickname.
But don't you tease me now. Are you gonna keep going with Only Fools?
I may. I have to see. It was like I've got my sleeping patterns all out of whack. And so I'm up all hours of the evening. I've turned into a complete vampire. I'm hoping my Safari driver gig will get me on a more normal
I will say the next 2
schedule.
episodes aren't my favorites. But once you get to season 5, magnifique.
All right. Well, that is encouragement. And
so what do we know about, or what do you feel about your odds of getting this job? Is it like fait accompli, or who knows?
It's, like any job interview, you don't know. I mean,
I'm
from,
sorry, Mike. Fait accompli means, done.
you know, but this other guy's about my age. It looks like, he's going through the training. There's a couple things you have to do before you're. I mean, I think they open Easter weekend, so in 2 weekends, but they're only going to be open for the weekend. So, I mean, I don't know if I get hired, whether I would start right away or I have to wait until, they open up full time. So we'll see. It's an interesting little thing that's happening. I hope it turns out to be something kind of fun,
Yeah.
because I think that would be kind of fun. I think,
I mean,
checking
if
out.
you can't get some funny material out of seeing animals get
Yeah,
out today, I don't know what
yeah,
to
no,
tell you.
I think, yeah, I think it would definitely be a source for some.
I don't want to put any pressure on
I
you,
don't,
but
yeah, but no, that was part of my thinking. I'm like, could this be the best job I've ever had if I get this job? And I think it could be. I
hey, I
think,
still love
I think it
when I
could
was
be.
in high school, the horse farm I worked on. That's still my favorite job.
Right. Okay. So this may be my time to interact with the animals. I've had to interact with sports fans, and I think I'm going to prefer interacting with the animals.
Even wild animals bred to kill you, I would.
I don't know if they're bred to kill me. In those circumstances,
Their instinct.
they've been probably declawed.
Well, you think if they get over that gate, they're confused about what to do?
I, I don't know. I think,
Wait, here's Mike List, but I've forgotten all my training.
I'm thinking maybe there's guys posted, along the route who
Is that
have
what they tell
the
you?
old dart guns from Animal Kingdom,
Why don't you get that job?
where they get
Why-
sh- they, they shoot the animals with tranquilizer when they attack.
if you don't get this job, why don't you say, can I get the dart gun job? When
No,
they start to look at you, say, I know that
this is my biggest fear. They're going to say, well, I've never driven a truck. I did learn that it's an automatic, that it's not, I'm not going to have to drive a shift or anything.
Mhm.
But, I think that shouldn't be a problem. But
Yeah.
my deepest fear is that they're going to look at my resume and they're going to say, well, you're going to look at it's not on my resume. It's on the application where I indicated that I had worked there before in grounds. I have a feeling they're going to go, you know what?
Veteran.
You had such a good record here as a grounds person. Maybe do you want to think about being a grounds guy?
Oh,
and then it will be full circle. Yeah,
that would
that'll
suck.
be the cycle of life. I
Yeah,
started out.
so you think that there's records of you from 40 years ago that this guy is so good at groundskeeping
Yeah,
that it's
this
going to come
guy,
up.
this
It's
guy
like
was one of the
it's like
best.
me looking
Yeah.
at Cy Young stats on baseballalmanac.com.
He didn't complain when he had to do the dumpster
And all this is on record. You're worried they're going to find it.
take out the trash from the Yum Yum Palace. And the bags would break because they were so heavy. You'd go into this was an ice cream place, and you'd have to empty out the garbage cans, and the bags were like like 100 pounds, and you're just like waiting for the fucking thing to bust on the floor. The biggest mess you'll ever have to clean up in your life.
Sounds like maybe you didn't do a great job.
I just remember some of the calamities, yeah, that pulling the dumpster was all about. But when you pulled the dumpster, you had like a partner. And I just remember this one guy was just such a he was such a wacko, but he was funny as hell, So we'd be pulling that dumpster and he's riffing, just doing these jokes. We're having a good old time. We're making the best of it. But
what year was this? Like, how old were you?
I was in high school. I wasn't sure if it was set. I think it probably was 77, 78.
I thought you were going to say they looked at your resume or the application, looked at 1978, and were like, where the hell have you been?
Yeah.
Isn't it funny, though? Like, who was this guy that you said was funny? Was he older than you at the time?
No, he was younger. Well, hey, I was young. I mean, no, what? You know what? We were probably about the same age. We were teenagers. He was a teenager. I'm thinking back, and I'm just thinking myself. I must have been older. No, I wasn't older. I was 16. I was 16.
I look back. It seems like when I was young, and I mean like before college, even like anytime I would have a job, and any man would show up, any adult man was always funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
especially the older they were.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because, for a lot of time, the only grown man is your father.
Mhm.
And my father was not funny. So I don't know if it's because when I would meet a guy and he'd start being funny, but I feel like every older guy that would show up to do whatever work or was even in the range of when we were working, everything they said was hysterical.
Really? Okay.
And the older they were, everything they said, they're just cracking the jokes.
Yeah.
And they were all new back then because,
Right.
about the old lady this, the old lady that, they're cussing in front of kids, which, was
Yeah.
new to you at the time. Boy, I wish I,
I don't remember a lot of funny older people around me, but you're right. If you knew like funny guys in school,
or
like I said,
I think
this
what it
guy, I
was
still remember this guy. I worked with him. He was a
yeah.
funny guy. He was cracking me up all the time. You just
I think
remember
you're
them,
so used to, like, when you think of grown men, you think of your father and
Mhm.
teachers.
Yeah.
They're not going to be
Right. They're
themselves
serious. Yeah.
around you.
Right.
But if you're 15 and some 30-year-old dude shows up, and
Yeah.
to you, he's 50, and he's just cussing and talking about
Yeah. Okay.
girls and making jokes,
Uh-huh.
it's the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I didn't have a lot of those guys.
Maybe at the park, you'll be that guy.
That's
You'll
what I'm
be the
hoping.
older
Like I
guy.
said, I hope I bond with whoever is my announcer, and that we can start doing some riffing.
I mean, we have to do something because
some
it's literally almost 50 years since you worked there.
we can work up some material, and maybe he'll give me some credit. Some of the riffs he works into the presentation.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
all.
think it could be really funny,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping I
I
have
think
some
you can
laughs.
be the older guy that just everything you say is
Oh
funny.
yeah, yeah. And of course, I'll be promoting the podcast.
Well,
And
I didn't want to say it
maybe
out loud,
I can
but
I can, I can get
lions listen
I
too.
can get the announcer to throw in a few plugs for Heck Fu What, the best show.
Yeah, I would hate to accidentally drive this truck into the lion's den. I hope you people start listening to for what?
Yeah. Anyway, I want to
Well,
thank
good
everybody
luck. I
for
hope you get it. I think it'll be fun.
yeah, I'll have an update next week.
Uh,
Fingers crossed.
what if they keep making you come back for like third and fourth interviews? Like,
Well, I know this guy has already briefed me on some of the things you got to do. I have to know the codes for the when you have emergencies on the truck. But I mean, they're probably going to have a little laminated thing there, right there, anyway. So it's like,
why
can
would
I
they
read?
trust? No, no
Can I
offense, but why
read?
would they trust you
Do
to?
I know what numbers are?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I think once they establish that I can read and that I know what numbers are, maybe that'll help me. Fingers crossed.
Fingers
Yes,
crossed, bro.
fingers crossed. So yeah,
It'll be good. That'll be fun.
it'll be fun. So I want to thank everybody for listening. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're promoting things. Yes, our merchandise on. I want to thank people. People are buying some stuff on Spring. I
Are they?
appreciate.
Oh.
Yeah. The mugs, the coffee mugs seem to be the hot item.
I got my nephew a sweatshirt.
Uh-huh.
Of course, it's been like a week and a half, and he hadn't said anything. I think he got it and he buried it. I don't know.
Oh, all right. Well, get an update there, because I heard from somebody who got a T-shirt. T-shirts are going. The comfort tee. Got a good report on that. Somebody who bought one. So
Nice.
I'm putting a link now in the description on YouTube, because we don't have enough subscribers yet. That's why we urge you to get your family
Huh.
to hit that
Oh,
subscriber
then maybe
button.
we should do less of this. That did.
I think we're 200 shy, so we have the work cut out for us. So anyway, thanks for
Like Mike
listening.
said, everybody, do the likes. Thanks for hopping in the merch store. Thanks for listening, and we wish Mike luck at the safari, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Are you saying bye to me or?
No.